We
the league football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
What happened, Dave?
It just it cut out because the laptop has got to be plugged in
Yeah.
24 hours a day to have any power. If I've taken it off from one to another socket, within a minute it'll cut out. And I thought I was going to make it, but sadly not.
You may need a new battery, eh?
I was going to say, that's called get a new battery.
Oh, hey, it's better than Johnny saying getting a new laptop.
Get one of these things, David.
What's that one? Oh, is that do your laptop as well?
That's a charger.
And that'll do the laptop as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, well, thanks very much, Scotty. Can you, you've got my home address, haven't you?
I'll deliver it.
You know where I live. Yeah. So.
Yeah. How's the plant doing?
Oh, just to inform you, I had a video call with the K-Man last night.
Oh,
you have?
Kevin? Yeah.
How is
I
it?
spoke to him last night. He's retiring in February. And he's moving over to Maryland next to where his daughter lives.
Oh,
all right.
Is he ever going to come back in the crew, Bar?
Pardon?
Is he ever going to come?
Once he's retired and he's gone over there and settled down, he'll probably start to go and come back in. He's back and forth with his mother at the moment. She's still in a old folks home sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he says he's moving over there in February.
Oh well, that's good for him. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be close to his family, and he's going to be close to his daughter and grandkids. But unfortunately, his mother's still in care. You know what I mean? In retirement home. Oh, I don't know if it's a retirement home or I don't know. Anyway, I spoke to him last night. I had a chat to him.
Lovely. That's good. I mean, it'd be nice for him to join in. I'm glad because Bob, how are you enjoying retirement?
I've forgotten.
Been too busy, yeah.
Too busy.
just testing.
Yeah.
How's the patient, Dave?
Oh, sorry?
How's the patient?
The bacon.
The patient.
The patient. Not.
She's all right. It's me that I've got to keep an eye on now. No, she's doing really well, honestly. Yeah, she has where they did the operation. Only quickly, they're going to remove the clips tomorrow, which is only 2 weeks after the operation, and physio on Tuesday. So, I mean, she's already up and about, moving about, and everything else with the sticks, with the crutches. But it'll take time. But she's doing really well. So, Pete, I will say, let her know you've been asking, because all the others have done. Anyway, thanks for all of you asking.
I didn't know about this. What's that?
And Bob hasn't asked because he didn't even know.
I didn't know about it. No.
Right.
I didn't ask either.
Yeah. Well, Ray, you've got enough on your plate without having to worry about what's coming up, over here. All right. We got
our own bomb cyclone.
Exactly. In fact, where have you blown away to? Because you're not even in front of the camera.
I just got back in. I'm just going to grab myself a coffee and then sit down. I was out walking the dog.
Lovely. Well, Scotty's already got one. Colonel, do you want black or white?
I got one already.
Have you, Johnny? Yeah. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Bob, that's it. Pat she had an accident, a bad accident, playing in a tennis match 2 weeks ago today, and then she broke the top of the femur, which they've replaced the whole hip and joint of the the ball and socket job.
Wow.
Everything, yeah. But
She
she's
had to
still,
have a hip replacement. Yeah.
yeah. It was the best option because
Right.
otherwise, if they tried to pin it, which it was too badly damaged to do anyway, had they, she'd have had issues, and would probably not be able to play tennis again, which she seriously wants to.
So they put tennis down. Put tennis down as dangerous sports now, do they?
Dangerous sport, yeah.
You're not supposed
And
to
it's a
injure yourself
no-no
playing
for
tennis.
flipping skiing. She can't. I mean, she'd only been skiing last year since 20 years before, and she really enjoyed it. But I said, "Well, you're not going. She can't go again for skiing." But
Really?
Ever.
no. So we're relying upon you, Bob. Maybe just do the Bob sleigh.
No
maybe.
problem. No problem.
Bob sleigh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobsleigh.
Has anyone else had a hip replacement?
Not
Yeah.
here, not here at the moment. I think Ray
Have you,
might
Bob?
need one. I think
No.
he's
I've had a knee done, and I'm on the list for my other knee done.
really
No hips yet.
not the
What-
hip.
what-
You're working up to the hips, are you?
I am. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What
I
did
give
they
break.
do to your knee, Bob?
Huh?
What did they do to your knee?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I was asleep.
Yeah.
They put a metal one. I think it's metal. It's like a
Ah,
metal joint. They stick in. It's very good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
He's playing centre forward for Blackpool next week.
Yeah. Fucking right. Yeah.
Need it. Yeah. Yeah.
Dave, thankfully, I haven't had any major injuries in my life, although I have done a couple of pretty spectacular crashes on my road bike, which, if there's any aficionados on the call, is a 1984 Raleigh Granada in mint condition that I've had since I bought it at the local bike store all those years ago.
Well,
And
Ray, this is good news. I'm just going to get on the phone to Oscar. I think he's interested.
the sad thing is I'd never sell it, and as long as they still can make parts for it. But yeah, it's a rare bird over here, that's for sure.
Wow. Oh, that's good. Oh, Bobo will be interested as well, obviously. Yeah. So.
He's been a bit quiet lately, Bobo. He's
he's had the flu.
He's
yeah.
been sick.
Yes, he
yeah,
did
yeah.
Since he
badly,
had the
wasn't
flu
it?
jab, he hasn't been
Yeah.
well.
No.
Yeah.
That was the COVID one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he had both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a double bubble. I've only had the flu actually, flu jab.
I've heard a
as
lot.
is.
I've heard a lot of rumours that a lot of people having the COVID are getting sick. I don't know.
I got sick after the flu jab.
I've
I
had
had
both.
both. I had both at the same time, and that touch wood, I've been okay.
Good.
Yeah, I've had both of them. I'm all right.
Did you have a double bubble at the same time, Scotty?
Certainly did. Yes. Yeah,
Good.
no problem.
Well done. Well
Boys,
done.
I've just heard people talking about it lately that a lot of people who've had the COVID have gone down sick after they've had it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't this time, funnily enough. About 3 times in a row, I've got really ill afterwards, but not this time.
Oh, that's good.
Is Taffy kept his head above water? Is there any update?
We didn't get any more reports after the 5 o'clock top.
Oh, shit.
You know, it was going to.
At the moment, abandoned ship.
And there was a
Just over the
lifeboat going down the River Taff not long ago.
Oh God!
Well, when he said his Taffmobile was parked on the hill, I was wondering why it wasn't in it.
The boat cap stuck on the front.
He's parked all his vehicles up on the top of a mountain, but I mean, how he got back down again, I don't know.
Maybe that's where he is. Maybe he's holed up in the Taffmobile on the top of the hill.
No. He's in his house. He's all sandbagged in.
Thanks, Colonel. That's what we need
Keep
to hear.
an eye on the lady next door.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to the opera this week?
Yeah.
Didn't Taffy go to the opera this week?
Oh my God! Did he?
He went with someone. They had a suit on.
Yeah, I think he was off to the opera.
Maybe bailing out as we speak.
Oh, he's gone to the opera. That's good. Oh, well. We'll get. Is he taking Bobo with him?
No, was it Alfie? Somebody called Alfie.
Alfie. Oh, well, bless him. It's not Alfie 7, is it?
No.
Oh, no.
It didn't look
No.
like.
I think it's his nephew. I think it's his nephew.
Oh, right. Whoever sat in Ray Sacri's seat, can you move out? He's making himself a cup of coffee.
I've got it. I've got my coffee now.
I got a question for you, Ray. I always get mixed
Mm-hmm.
up. So the Malcolm who was basically texting you, is that Malcolm the cameraman or Malcolm the ex soldier who went to the Falklands?
Malcolm Comley.
Okay, he's the cameraman. Okay,
Oh, was it
Yeah.
cameraman
He
Comley?
was the PRS.
You've
He
been
wasn't the
talking to
cameraman.
Malcolm.
Well,
the
yeah,
bellboy.
he was a cameraman for my Channel 4 news, Pete. Yes, he was.
No,
Oh,
hang
right.
on,
as well.
Okay.
Ray, you've been talking to Malcolm, the bellboy who won the Skagway Marathon twice.
He won the Skagway Marathon.
Yeah, so
That's who you've been
that's not
talking
that's
to.
not
Oh, is
Comley.
that
That's
the
not Comley.
Malcolm? Oh, it's not Malcolm
Yeah,
Comley.
yeah.
No,
No.
that's my question.
Hello,
Yeah, it's not-
Chris.
Okay.
You've been
I
talking
thought it
to
was
him all
Malcolm
afternoon.
Comley.
No.
You've been talking to him all afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, I was actually busy when he was texting, but Malcolm Comley he never came on the call, but I did send him an email about a year or so ago, and he told me that his wife had passed away the previous few months, and that he was pretty upset, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah,
And
because
I thought that was Malcolm because he said, I thought it was Malcolm Comley because he said that he hadn't been on for a while. So, yeah.
No.
But they
Yeah,
both
no,
haven't been
Malcolm.
on for a while.
No.
Yeah, it's Malcolm the bellboy who went night watchman.
Yeah,
Night Watchman,
right.
Skagway Marathon,
and he was in the army. Went to the Falklands.
and he was in the army.
Oh,
Yeah.
Malcolm
Yeah.
Comley.
Yeah. Not
Comley,
No.
I was
Malcolm-
actually at Merchant Naval Training College with him as well.
What, Comley?
No, the Malcolm that ran the marathon.
Well,
He was
does someone know his
he was
last
originally
name?
from Liverpool. He's a
Someone know his
Scouser.
last name?
Chris,
I can't
Chris,
think of his
Chris,
last name.
sound check.
It'll
Chris,
come to
can
me,
you
it'll
hear
come
us?
to me in a minute. It'll come to me in a minute.
I can hear you. Can you hear
He
me?
only lives up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Are you
He doesn't
sat,
live far
sat
from
by
me.
the Liverpool trophy cabinet?
No, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
When he told me he was watching 2 football games, I was wondering why, if anybody was going to be on the crew bar today.
Yeah. Right, it's Malcolm. He lives
Malcolm,
about 3 or
it's
4
not
miles
Malcolm
away from me.
Comley. It's Malcolm.
I can never get a word in.
X.
It's all right. I said, Ray, he lives just up the road from me.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. But Dave was jumping in again.
Yeah, all right, Steve. What is Malcolm's surname then?
I'm trying to think now. Good
Yeah,
God, you've
well-
got me on.
Yeah, jump in whenever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. In the meantime, just keep
Preferably
checking
the River Taff.
I think we can move on from the two Malcolms.
If you go to
Malcolm.
WhatsApp, you
Does
might get
anybody
his-
remember? Does anybody remember this? I think he was Spanish PRS that also was a marathon runner, and he was actually really good. Even though he's quite a lot older than everybody else, he was on the Sun Princess, and he'd go off running. I went running with him one day, and it was a big mistake because I thought I'd be able to do okay because he was old and I was young, but he wiped the floor with me.
Right, go on then.
I couldn't keep
Is it-
up with him.
Is it Frank Morella?
No, but that
Scarface,
name
Scarface
sounds
Morella?
familiar.
Not Juan
No.
Montoya.
He was a short, stocky guy, older, probably in his 40s. And I think he was a PRS, but he might have been a waiter. He was
Oh.
a real character. I'll see if I can find a picture of him, because I do have a picture of him somewhere. You'll know him if you saw him. You'd remember him if you
Yeah.
saw him.
Yeah.
And was it a picture of him while you were running together?
There is a picture of him at one of the marathons, because I think he actually he won one of the marathons one time, I think.
He must have turned around and waved to you then.
Yeah. Well, he probably was.
I can't think of a Spanish
Manchester
beer.
Mick and I, the first marathon, carried a bottle of Blue Nun with us and drank it on the way. I don't really know why.
By the way, his name is Williams, Malcolm Williams.
Malcolm Williams. There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Well done, Johnny.
Well, what about Malcolm Pierce?
Oh, first head chef I've ever come across.
Well done, Mr. Scotty.
Nice man.
Is he still around? Well,
No.
oh, well, great bloke. Great bloke.
Not too sure, but I
No,
don't.
he's been gone a while.
Okay.
He was the head chef on the Trusan in '69 when Dennis Tanner was second steward. Bob, you remember him?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
Charlie Walker's chief steward?
Charlie,
Yeah.
Charlie, not Pierce, was it? No.
Bobo.
Bobo's out of bed and looking well.
I know it was Charlie. I can't remember his surname.
Walker.
Didn't his grandson, the bellboy, wasn't it?
Oof.
Right.
Don't know.
Charlie the Cockney, chief steward. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't remember now. I thought it was Walker, but maybe.
You may be right. I can't remember.
And John Ashton was the third steward.
Yeah, I knew John a few times. Sailed with him a few times.
He was the first person to speak to me on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say to you, Scotty? Get out of my way.
No,
He said, "Would you like to come down and inspect my cabin?"
Well, before he said that, he said the Lord looks after him and looks after himself. And then he helped himself to something off a BL cabin steward's shelf.
All right, we'll do another sound check now for Mr. Bobo. Are you with us?
I am with you guys, just about.
We're waiting for your report on the River Taff, Bobo.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it was rushing down there into Cardiff, coming from Taffy's neck of the woods. It all starts up where he is. And it was just, I rang him this afternoon when I'd come out of church, and I looked at the river and I thought, oh my goodness me. So I thought of Taffy, and because I know what it's like where he is. And yeah, so I think he said he's coming in a bit later on. So he'll probably give you a full report. But the river was really flowing. I reckon it was flowing about 20-30 mile an hour.
Yeah, we saw that on your video, Bob. That was a great one you did. Yeah.
Colonel would classify that as a scoop.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was. It was great.
Well, I'd not seen the river in the park because the river, where we got off on the reunion, the wharf there, when we all got off there. I mean, it's literally was maybe 400 or 500 meters, and the park was closed off completely. So it's stopped raining now here. So, but that doesn't mean if it's raining in where Taffy is. I mean, it just obviously comes down the river and ends up in the Bristol Channel or whatever he calls it.
He calls it the Welsh Channel, and
Welsh
I'm going to have to have a word with him about that.
We've got pretty lightly up here, actually. We haven't had the high wind.
Snow. You had any snow?
Had what?
Any snow?
We had snow last week.
No, we haven't had snow.
Any, Bobo?
No, none at all. Well, look,
as far as this
down below freezing, but no snow. Just ice on the car. It took me about 15 minutes to get the ice off the car the other day. First time ever. So I bought a scraper and this special stuff you spray on you. I haven't done that for a long time.
Just use a credit card and scrape it off.
Yeah, that's right.
Comes off better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in those days, Scotty, we didn't actually use our credit cards then, but we use them all the time now.
Yeah. Well, any card will do.
Any card will do.
Okay.
You need the Tesco points card.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's worth knowing, Steve. Thanks. Do we get extra points for using it?
You do what I do. Go outside, switch the engine on, and leave it running. Close the door, leave it running for half an hour, and again, when you get in, it's nice and warm. and all the ice has gone.
The only thing in Cardiff there, Bob, is if you leave the car running, you go back, it's not there.
Yeah, right.
Hey, apparently, I was looking into that. Apparently, that's against the law to
Well,
leave your car running with no one in it.
right.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can't do it. You're not supposed to do it.
I do.
That
what?
wouldn't work. That wouldn't work in Canada because in Alberta, especially where it's like regularly minus 28, if you go into town and there's actually electrical outlets all over the place where you plug your heater, your block heater in,
Yeah.
and people, if they're going in the store, they don't turn their car off because
Really?
it won't start again afterwards. So they leave their car running and with the keys in it. It's a regular thing.
Right.
Must be
Yeah.
honest people.
So, Ray, are you wearing a kilt? You know, while you're stroking your sporran?
No, this foreign.
I'm a bit worried about you, right?
What's
This
his
would make a good
name? Her
sporran.
name?
Sophie.
Sophie.
Oh,
Oh, blimey. Oh, Scotty, you have to go one better now, don't you?
oh yeah.
Ah.
In there.
Yeah. Oh.
She actually has a
Oh.
really, it doesn't look good right now because it's wet, but she has a really nice beard. And she's often mistaken for a male, but she's really a girl.
Right, right.
Really?
Chris, how is your weather in where you are?
We've actually, the same bomb cyclone that John experienced, we've had that really a couple of times now. It's the same storm. And it looks a lot like the weather you're having in the UK right now on each side of the the Channel and the Atlantic. It's we had like winds up to 90 miles an hour. It's crazy.
What's
And
the name of your storm?
They don't give them names here.
Oh, we've got Bert.
Bertie.
Yeah, I heard Bert.
We got Bert at the moment. Bert's blowing a good one.
How's things in Southern California?
Well, not really any rain yet. It's threatening rain, and I think we're going to get some maybe Monday or Tuesday, but not much. I mean, half an inch maybe. You know, hardly worth talking about.
No, well, it's a start,
but it's
Chris.
cooler because we're getting the cold blast down from like where John and Ray are. So it's a bit cooler.
Only half an inch spread over the distance of California is quite a lot.
That's the first rain in a while. So, yeah, we could do with a good downpour.
You can have some of ours.
My sister lives in Bude, and she was going to visit her family in Nottingham, and she had an hour bus ride from Bude to Oakhampton. They never made it to Oakhampton, and she spent 7 hours on the bus before they finally got back to Bude because that big snowstorm that you had, it hit Dartmoor, right?
That's the top of Dartmoor, Oakhampton.
Yeah. I worked in Oakhampton for a while in between my first 6 years at sea, and then I left for a couple of years and then went back again. Yeah.
Is that when you were doing the estate agent's business?
Yeah, I worked there, and I worked at Newton Abbot and Exeter. I worked at Cathedral Yard at Exeter. Yeah.
My mother was born in Newton Abbot.
Oh yeah.
King Street.
I used to play golf a lot at Oakhampton. It was a nice golf course there.
When I lived in Exmouth, I used to commute to Oakhampton every day. It was 40 miles, and I had a Volkswagen Beetle. And one day when I was going, there was a lot of snow, and there's a dual carriageway that goes to a place called Widden Down, and the windshield wipers weren't working because there was no water coming out. And if any of you have ever had a Volkswagen Beetle, the windshield washers work from the air pressure in the spare tire that's in the under the hood where there's no engine. The engine's in the rear, right? And you'll remember this jacket because I bought a ski jacket for you and Dave, you and I and Pat to go skiing in Scotland. And because it was snowing, I was wearing that ski jacket. And because the windshield washers weren't working, there's lots of big articulated trucks roaring back and forth. And my windshield got so mucky, I couldn't actually see where I was going. So I pulled over to the hard shoulder and I got out of the car and I tried to break the ice off the nozzles. And I had the hood open and I was squishing the rubber hose to try to get the ice crystals broken so it let the water go through. And I couldn't quite reach the nozzles. So while I'm leaning over the front of the car, I pushed the hood down. And the hood latch is right at the very front of the car. And the other way of opening the hood latch is inside in the glove box. Well, I cleaned the ice off the nozzles and then I went to step away from the car. And that ski jacket was trapped by the zipper under the hood of the car, and I couldn't get out. I was completely pinned to the front of the car.
Oh, no.
And while I'm there, the trucks kept going by me, and every time they'd splash up against me, and I get buffeted by the wind of these big trucks going by, and I could not reach either the front hatch or the one inside. And I was there for about half an hour. I finally figured out that by wiggling down and shimmying, I was able to wiggle out of the jacket. And my boss, because I was late for work, obviously, and he couldn't believe what had happened. And he was laughing so hard, he didn't really care that I never made it into work.
Yeah, he said, I've heard it all now, Ray. I've had some excuses.
It's quite an adventure, Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
You carry on. It's okay. Just got to get my.
One time, the linkage on the accelerator broke when I was going home and I had to drive 40 miles and suddenly the accelerator went to the floor and it wouldn't work. I had a piece of hairy string in the glove box and I managed to tie the string to the throttle in the rear and run the string up the outside of the car. And I drove all the way home by pulling on a piece of string.
Wow.
You couldn't do that in any other car. Yeah.
JW vehicle.
Right.
What's Dave doing now?
Right. Here we go.
He's just going to bring out his ski jacket. Just a second.
What is it? That's the jacket. That's it. I don't think I have that picture. That's in Aviemore.
Yeah.
When did we take that picture? You'll have to send me that.
Hang on, it's coming through now. There you go. Have you got it?
The funniest thing was that there was no snow this one day, and the only way to get to the top of the slope was in this. It wasn't a chairlift; it was a disc that you put between your legs. Button lift, right? And Pat went first, then Dave, and then I was bringing up the rear. And there was so little snow that we were going over holes in the ground where you could see streams of water running below. And Pat falls off about halfway up the mountain, and Dave is coming up behind her. So she managed to get back up on her skis and stand at the side. Dave is going to grab her as he goes by to somehow pull her up the mountain, and he grabs her. They both fall off. I'm laughing so hard. I literally am laughing so hard I could barely hang on. By the time I got to the top, I was holding on to this bloody disc like this because it had fallen out between my legs. And then I never saw them for about an hour and a half because they had to walk all the way up the mountain.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
You enjoyed that, didn't you? Yeah.
Even to this day, when I think about that, I can see you. I can see Pat standing at the side of the thing, and you're going to grab her, and it cracks me up every time.
Well, none of you others would be thinking that, would you? Right?
Would be.
I think were we there for a week? I can't remember how long we were there.
Seemed like a bloody month.
just no snow. It was hopeless.
It was terrible,
Yeah.
terrible, terrible. Ray, I will send it through. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll send
I
it
don't have
through.
any pictures of that ski trip. Somebody else was there with us as well. Was it Peter Feet? Did he come up as well?
No, he didn't come. He didn't come on the skiing.
But there were four of us, I think. I can't remember who else
No, I
was
think
there.
it was only the three of us.
Was it?
Oh,
I
no.
took the train all the way to Aviemore from Exeter. It was a long bloody train ride.
Yeah. I know what you. I think actually, I think you're right. No, there were four of us actually. You're right.
Yeah, but I don't know who the fourth person was. Could
Um,
be Fraser. Was it Fraser?
Possibly. Hang on. Oh no, that's it. There he is. There he is. Yeah, he was the fourth. That was the fourth one. Yeah, I think it's a moose. I think he was a moose or a ray.
Did you ever go skiing there again?
Why do you ask a question when you know the answer's no?
I don't know.
No, we didn't go there. We did go to France quite a few times. Well, same place as what Fraser and Brendan and Ollie and Colin.
I went to France once for a week to Courchevel on my own, and I had a fantastic time. It was La Trois Valley, and the place was called Courchevel.
All right.
It was like a package holiday. Went on a bus. I had a really great time.
Do you all ski well? You all good?
What's that?
Yeah, well,
all good skiing.
I've only been
ski. We could ski, but not.
I've only been about 3 times.
Yeah. We did all right. We did okay.
Yeah, I skied for 25 years in Australia, but only in Australia. But I became quite good at it. Yeah, I sort of could do all the black runs and everything like that.
Are you sure? Is there snow in Australia?
You didn't have to say that.
I did.
Though.
I did.
When he says he did all the black runs, what he did, he said, was he slid on his jacksie all the way down on the black. All right.
I did slide on my jacksie a few times. I got hurt 3 times, and one time I was on a ski holiday. I only lasted the first day, and somebody ran into me, and I had a back injury, and I was, taken down by the ski patrol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ruined my holiday.
Oh my God! No, blacks are challenging. It's very challenging. I'm not as I did do the blacks, but only because I went on the wrong flipping slope. I was hoping for a blue or a red.
Yeah.
Chris, you look like a skier. Have you been skiing, Chris?
Yeah. What's the skiing? No, well, not for years. I mean, years and years ago in Europe, and then I went skiing in Australia one time. I went to, in the Aussie winter, snowy mountains.
Yeah, Perisher.
To Threadbow and Perisher.
Yeah, that's right.
Snowy mountains. Bob probably knows where that is, right?
Yeah, I know them all. I used to ski at Perisher and Threadbow, but Perisher.
What's the ski resort in BC called, Ray?
Well, there's Mount Washington.
No.
And there's Whistler Blackcomb.
Whistler.
That's the best one, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually opening early this year.
Yeah, we were on dry dock in the PP, and my soon-to-become Mrs. Maria, we went to Whistler. This is my only time skiing this. And we had an instructor for the day. Got the gear and everything. Trying to get up on one of those things you sit on was a joke. I kept falling off that. And she said, you do this, you do that, you do the other. And she said, right, I want you to go down. And there was like a cone, a traffic cone. She said, go down. She said, and go round the cone. Okay. So I'm going down. And you never guess where this cone ended up. On the end of my ski. And the girl said to me, she said, I've been teaching this for years. And I've never, ever in my life seen anybody get the cone on the end of the ski. That was my one and only time with trying to ski.
Taffy, are your feet dry?
Yeah, life is good. I got over the danger point about 6 o'clock tonight. So.
Oh, good. Well done, Taffy.
Well,
is it fish for tea?
Oh, I tell you, I was a bit concerned. I've been I've been studying that. I watched them build those flood defenses, and I was home on leave in in 1978 when it last flooded, and there was 6 foot of water in the town, in the village, but it went past our house like a river. The road was a river. There was 2 rivers going past the house. But since then, they built these flood defenses. They must have spent millions on it. And I watched them build it. And because I used to work with the civil engineers, I could see where if it ever burst its banks again, because it's all downhill, of course, I knew exactly where it would burst its banks. There's 2 places it might. And I got a phone call at 6 o'clock this morning. So I got straight up and got my coat on and got out. And I went to these 2 places, one about a mile down the river and one 2 miles up the river. And I'd be blowed, it was inches from bursting the flood defenses. And I thought, oh, for fuck, I didn't know what to do. But I didn't panic. I just carried on. But the town was flooded. But I phoned my nephews up, and God bless them, they came up and put a flood defense against the front gate, which was good because where is a road now in front of the front gate, that would have been a river if the river bank had burst.
Yeah.
And I knew through the weather forecast, if we get to 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, we'll be all right. If it didn't burst by then, so I'm quite relaxed now, thank goodness.
Goodness. Yeah.
You got the Taffmobile. You got the Taffmobile to high ground, did you?
The Taffmobile's on the hill, and so is the car, because out the backyard is flooded. It's flooded out the back. So my garage is probably flooded. Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't mind that because it's just a bit of concrete. But if it had come up the back, because when it flooded in 78, it was an inch below my back door. And well, I do feel so. Whenever you see people that are flooded, it's the worst bloody thing. You know, because if somebody's house burns down, they go and stay in a hotel, and that's it. It's fucking gone, isn't it? But with a flooded house, I remember in 78, there was nearly all old people living up the road from me here. And I remember walking up, and they were shoveling muck out, you know, because there's muck that ends up.
Yeah, it's the mud that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah. God, blimey. Anyhow, thank goodness we got away with it.
Good.
Yeah, life is good, except for the rugby.
Yes.
But I want to say one thing about rugby and sports now. Wales are going to at least 3 or 4 years before they manage to get some physical players in are going to be able to compete with any of the teams, because England, Scotland, Ireland, and France, it's going to be an absolute cracking Six Nations this year. And Wales and Italy are going to be fighting it out for the wooden spoon. But I've never seen. I watched the Scotland-Australia game this afternoon, and I tell you, man, they were fantastic, though, that Scottish side.
Mm-hmm.
They were unbelievable.
They beat Australia.
Yeah, they beat Australia. They walloped them. And so I can see it being a great Six Nations. So you'll be glad of that, Chris, because I know you like a bit of rugby as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough from
Absolutely.
me. Enough from me.
How was the opera, Taffy?
The opera?
Yeah.
Well, I got to be honest with you, it was a play that was. And it was one of those that came back up. So that was from a couple of years ago, to be honest. I should have explained it. But when it came back up, that poor old guy, I call him young Alfie. But he can't walk now. He's gone really downhill. And when it came back up, because he was from Tiger Bay. He was born and brought up in Tiger Bay. He used to run around and sleep in different people's houses because they didn't have his father was off somewhere and his mother was just, it was slums, you know, and he used to live in different houses, the stories he told, and people used to just look after him, you know. And when that play came out, I took him to the Opera House to watch that play, Tiger Bay. And I tell you what, he may have come from the slums, but young Alfie, I call him, he is always immaculately dressed. And everybody around Cardiff knows him. So when it came back up on my Facebook, I thought, oh, I'll put this up for him. So as next time I see him, Bobo, we visited Alfie when I was going to pick my car up. Next time I go to see him, I'll take the laptop and I'll say, look at all these people. Because they all made comments about him, you know, about the picture. So that's why I put it up. Yeah.
Oh, well, keeping on the sporty just for a moment, Scotty, Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah.
Now, did you go and watch them play in your day?
No. Just walked through Stanley Park and there it was.
Is that the stadium? Is it in Stanley Park?
Well, it's off to the side of it, so.
Yeah, it's not far from Stanley
I never
Park.
noticed
There's
it. No.
two stadiums down there now.
Yeah. Did I tell you about what was the place we used to go for a drink in the shopping centre?
The Elephant Castle.
Elephant Castle.
That's right. Yeah. We were sitting by the door there, and this young kid's at the door looking in, his mum's with him. And she's going, she's pushing him in to come to us. So we're sat there talking away, all British, obviously, talking away. And he come over and says, can I have your autographs? I said, what? He thought we played for the Vancouver Whitecaps. So we're all signing this thing. So this kid for years thought he got signatures from these guys who played for Vancouver Whitecaps. We're all pissed at the time, obviously. Pardon?
But we actually played for the Sun Princess All Stars.
Yeah.
I'll break in if I may. I just got 2 telephone calls from Floodline UK.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I tried to play it on there, but it was saying, you're no longer in danger of flooding.
Right.
So I'm a happy guy. I can go to sleep tonight
It
without
makes you feel
worrying about
better.
it.
Yeah.
It's official.
Yeah, it's official. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sorry, I missed that story because I had the answer.
Yeah. And Johnny, is there still a breeze up your way?
No, not now, thank goodness. But like I said, this bomb cyclone stuff was it was serious. It came in at 6 o'clock. Within half an hour, there's like 500,000 people with no power, including ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a mini hurricane.
Huge.
Yeah. And we've got these huge
The
trees.
big rain event too, wasn't it, John?
Yeah. We have all these huge trees in our back garden, or backyard as they call it here. And I mean, the last thing you want is one of them coming down, because there's people whose houses were completely cut in half. Yeah.
With the trees crashing in between it.
Yeah, and a couple of people, they died. A couple of people died. Yeah. But,
the actual storm was like 400 kilometers off to the coast, but it creates this huge area of low pressure that sucks all the air off the mountains so that the outflow winds is what's doing all the damage. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's still people who don't have power.
There wasn't really any warning about that, John, was there?
A week almost. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen on the forecast is so accurate now. You can see 10 days out that it's coming, and it's usually it's very close. It might come up a little bit or go down a little bit in terms of the actual day. Maybe it's a day early or a day late, but as you get close to it, the weather forecasting now is amazing. Here anyway.
Well, it's just for hanging the washing out we need to know down here.
Yeah, well, if you hung your washing out here, it would be gone.
Yeah.
Dave, have you had snow?
Yes, we did. We did have snow for one morning, and it lasted for a few hours. It was going for a few hours. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it took me quite a while to chip off the icicles off me boxers because they were hanging on the line, obviously. So
You should have used a credit card.
you haven't seen the size of my boxers.
You haven't seen the side of his credit card.
See, Charlie sent his weather forecast. It's 70 over there.
Yeah.
Well, it's 15 degrees in Margate at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we're going through a bit of a warm period, aren't we, at the moment?
We're having a heat wave.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we've gone from 0 to 15 in about 2 days.
That's right. Yeah, I saw it on the news tonight. Oh, today, yeah.
So you can hang your boxes out tomorrow, Dave.
Can I hang them out tomorrow, Steve?
Yeah, shouldn't freeze.
Good, good. That's
I was
all
watching
right.
that football yesterday. It was freezing, wet, and windy.
God grief. And what was the score, Scotty?
2-2.
That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad, not bad.
There was about 400 of us up there.
So, hey, we're talking, you know, with all the winds, the wind and the weather and everything else. Can you remember your roughest trip on the ship, whichever it was, whenever it was? Can you remember a really, really stormy time you had at sea?
Yeah, I can remember on the Oriana going between New Zealand and Australia once. There was a force 10 gale, and the pianos in the over were tied down, and and I think the bar was closed because I remember it was all drinking behind the ocean bar.
We the roughest one was between Dover and Calais and Dover.
Wow.
We had a problem with the stabilizers and had to go back to Dover without them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I remember?
Really,
I may have told you this one before. Canberra, really, really rough weather. Nobody came in for dinner apart from 2 of my punters.
Oh, that'll be you.
Yeah, I can remember on the Oriana, you know,
so they called these 2
where we'd have the welcome aboard cocktail party and hardly anybody showed up. It was so rough.
Yeah. So these 2 punters came in, sat down, ordered the dinner.
Got a salad.
Got out and got the dinner, give them the soup, eat the soup, give them the main course. And I went in the galley for it. I used to smoke in those days. I'll have a quick fag while I'm waiting for them to eat. So I came back in and the wife sat there on her own. And the husband had thrown his napkin over the plate. So she said, "Excuse me, Steve," said, "my husband, he's been sick." Said, on the plate. So I okay, thank you. So I picked it up, the plate, everything on it, the napkin, into the galley, and thrown it in the gash, you know, the trash can at the plate house. Thrown everything in there, the plate and everything. So I go back in, get ready. She comes back in, says, "Steve," she said, "yeah." She said, "And when my husband was sick," she said, "he left his false teeth on the plate."
Oh, no.
I said, "What?" She said, his false teeth were on the plate. Can you? Oh, shit. So I had to go back into the galley and say to the people in the plate, I said, "Listen, you've got to go in the gash can. You'll find that there's a plate and a napkin and everything else, and there's some false teeth with it." So they had to check the whole fucking thing out. We found the false teeth. We didn't find the false teeth.
Yeah.
So, oh God, it could only happen to me.
Yeah.
Did you clean them before you gave them back?
Pardon?
I hope she gave you a good dropsy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think the worst one that I was on the Sun Princess, and some of you were there, where the piano in the crew bar, sorry, the piano in the crew mess went through the wall, and there was a piano up in the Starlight Lounge that fell off the stage. it was really, really bad. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was a hurricane we were supposed to go in at Puerto Vallarta, and we couldn't go in because we had to sail early or something because of the hurricane. And we tried to go around it.
Ray, I was on that one.
Bad.
That's
I
probably
was
why I
on
missed
that
the
one.
ship in.
That's what I was going to ask. Was Dave on it or the Colonel?
I think that's where I missed the ship in
but
Mazatlan.
the one I experienced wasn't a hurricane, Ray. It was a thing like when the wind comes over Baja California and causes a vacuum or something.
The Gulf of Torontopeck used to be bad there.
That bulkhead in that mess room must have had more holes in it than enough, because that happened when I was on there as well. I was sitting in the mess with Brendan, funny enough, and the piano was just going backwards and forwards across the room, smashing everything up.
Everybody just sat there and at the dip.
And when we went to work, there was a certain person sitting at the piano playing in the Union Jack bar with his big green glasses on, playing Crocodile Rock.
But I always remember Phil Butcher talking about one of the ships that he was on, where the ship was rolling back and forth, and the crew had to bail the water out. The ship was taking on water, and they had to form a chain gang to get the water out.
That was the
and
Orchids,
I remember him saying, was it the Orchids? Yeah, the ship would keel over to one side, and you'd stand upright. You had to have 1 foot on the wall and one foot on the bulkhead and 1 foot on the companionway, and then it would roll back the other way. And that, he said, was the scariest time. But,
I think
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think Izzy was on there before he came on the wrong side.
Really?
Yeah. At that time in the laundry, had to bail the laundry out.
We have got a story to tell, Dave. You know, that might be. It's a retread, but it's a brilliant one.
Go on.
Because I got into the lift on the Sun Princess down on the crew deck. And I was going up to the Starlight, and I got in the lift and I pressed the button. It was in Vancouver. We were tied up. I was in Vancouver. We were tied up. I got into the lift, pressed the button to go up the Starlight, and as I'm going up a couple of seconds, I hear this voice saying, "Oh fuck, what the fuck?" And I thought, what's that? There's a fucking guy working on the top of the lift above my head. And
a bit of a nightmare trying to get in.
That lift went all the way up the Starlight, and I walked out, and I must have pressed the emergency button or something, because there was people running towards the lift, and I just kept walking because this bloke was cursing, "You fucking." And I didn't know what was going on, and there was only a few seconds really to get up there. It was important. No passengers. And when I walked back 15 minutes later, they're carrying this bloke out on a stretcher, and he got sent emergency to the hospital. He was working on top, but he hadn't. He hadn't
locked it out.
He hasn't fault. He should have. Whatever it is, they cut it out in time, don't they?
Did they have a longest?
But I never owned up to it.
Absolutely not. No way.
What's going on here?
Not till now, Taff.
Yeah, I have no. Yeah.
Oh, nice one, Taffy.
Anyway, Taff,
hello, Charlie.
just to make it right for you.
Good evening, all.
We found that Charlie on top of the lift.
Good evening. Bit of a nightmare trying to get on, boy.
Well, it's good to see you, Charlie.
Likewise.
No, and obviously we have had we have had a weather update from Scotty giving us a bit of a briefing on your temperatures, but can you confirm what you've got at the moment?
Well, it was 70 degrees, quite sunny, but it's gone a little overcast now, so the temperature's dropping slightly.
Oh,
it's still very pleasant.
Lovely. Well, it's nice to know someone is.
No snow expected.
No snow or floods.
No snow or floods. No.
For the next 50 years or so.
At least. Yeah, at least, Ray. Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, so Charlie, we were just talking about with all the bad weather we have had, we've mentioned about the wind and we're just experiencing stories of being at sea in the rough weathers. Have you got any memory of a rough time at sea?
A couple of times in the Aussie Bight, we got caught out there, bit of rough seas. It was more upset the passengers than it did the crew in that sense.
Yeah. Well,
the restaurants were always very quiet when you
Apart
got
from
rough
my
weather
brothers.
there.
Yeah, cool.
I
cool.
can remember
It was always good on the older ships because you had your portholes with the deadlights.
Yeah.
Tighten up the deadlights, and the seawater was still coming through.
Yeah, we got into trouble when I was on the Ark. We left one of the portholes open, and the water came in. We got a bollocking for that.
Yeah.
When I was on the Ark, we were going across from Vancouver to Honolulu, and it was that bad we had to heave to for 36 hours. Just stopped in the water dead.
Yeah.
Put the nose up, and that was it. We couldn't go anywhere. It was that bad.
Wait till it gone.
Yeah.
That was the same as the Sun Princess on that Montezuma's whatever, that wind that comes off the Mexican. I'm surprised, John, that you can't remember that, because I was working in the Starlight Lounge, and I always used to sunbathe on deck, and it was Captain Young came on the tannoy, I think.
Yeah.
And by the time he'd finished I was sunbathing. By the time he'd finished his warning, it came black.
Up. Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
And we never went anywhere for 2 days.
Yeah.
And when we went up the Starlight, the big ice machine had come away from its bulkhead, and everything was just wrecked. So it must, and I should imagine Noel and Nevin must have been in there at that time as barman.
Yeah.
But that's the big one that I remember. That's my sea dog story for when people ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any rough weather? And I always tell them that one. Well, I was lying on deck one day, and by the time the captain finished his announcement, we were in a hurricane. But it was coming off the coast. Ray just mentioned it. Coming off the coast of Mexico.
Yeah. We went through a typhoon on the October.
Yeah.
On our way over to Japan from Aussie. That was a bit rough. That was one of my rough ones. One of the worst.
But you have had a bit of rough at sea, haven't you, Steve?
What year was that, Steve?
I remember joining the Sun Princess in 1978. Sharing a cabin with somebody. That was rough.
What year was the October one, Chris?
70. About 1970. About 1970 it would have been.
Right. Yeah. I think I was on the 71.
71.
Yeah, I may have been on that one.
I always remember when we used to do medi cruising, but I mean the weather wasn't that bad. But when we used to leave Gibraltar, coming home, while we were tied up and doing whatever, we'd be running around the decks serving everybody. And then those of us that had been there for a while would just stop taking orders, and the ship would sail, go out through the straits and turn right back to come home, and the wind and the waves would be coming up, and all the punters would be up there saying, "Where's my drink?" we stopped.
You do that on New Year's Eve as well. I remember I was the only one running around that bloody stadium on New Year's Eve, and I remember the purser looking and saying, "Oh, what a guy! Look at him go!"
Yeah.
Everybody pissed off.
New Year's Eve, I thought that was the Poseidon.
The only time I went in that stadium was to do deck buffets.
Oh, that flipping stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, awful in there.
To serve the wine.
Oh, it's terrible. Didn't like it. Didn't like. I was when I first started. I was doing YouTube. No, before gang. Actually, I did this in the pantry and that, and I used to help set up the flipping buffets. You know, with the it was a right workup. Didn't and they did continental breakfast up there as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
we used to do coffees and all sorts in there.
no. It was terrible, terrible. Still, now look, boys, it is sad that Charlie's only just come in, but it was better late than never. And thanks for doing it, Charlie.
Yeah.
So I've been told. Yeah.
We're gonna have to put the traffic lights up, Johnny.
Yeah, I got a couple of things to say. First of all,
Please.
Charlie, if you message me with the problem you're having getting into Zoom, I think if you give me your email address, I can send you the link to your email, and that may help you out. And the second thing is, those of you who are on the Sea Princess, what's his name? In Aussie,
Martin.
No, not Martin.
Malcolm.
Who am I thinking about? Anyway, he put up this
I thought it was Martin.
video. No, it wasn't Martin.
Simon Lockyer.
Simon, yeah. He put
He
up.
didn't put it up though, did he?
Yeah, on the Aussie Crew Bar, he did the video of a promo for the Sea Princess. You might find it interesting.
Yeah, you know what? I looked through it. It's very disappointing because that promo didn't include myself and the swimming pool attendant when we were waving the big pink towel on the after end when the helicopter flew over.
Okay.
Was that the Sea Princess? I didn't realize that was the Sea Princess.
Yeah. So that was a big disappointment. But Steve, Pete, you would have bollocked me if you'd known what I'd done, wouldn't you?
Yes, definitely. The only person I recognised it was Mike Carr.
Yes, on the bridge.
Yeah, the rest of it.
Yeah.
There's one public room steward. He looked like John Pemberton, but was he with us?
I don't know. No, he was not at the beginning. I don't think. Dave was obviously because he was working.
Dave.
I don't think it was John Pemberton. I didn't recognise the guy.
Did anybody know that Mr. Prescott that died the other day?
Oh, John, two Jags.
Yeah.
John two Jags. No, he was a Cunarder, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. They said he was in the Merchant Navy. They didn't say what line or anything.
I was talking to Greg the other day about that, and he reckoned he was on the Iberia at one stage. I said, well, I have no knowledge of that, but
we did have a John Prescott that worked on the ships and then went up to the main office.
Yeah.
Did the staff distribution thing up there.
That wouldn't be him.
That's not him. No, it's another one.
No, I remember that name though right enough there, Scotty.
Yeah.
Blackpool Bob.
Yeah.
How is he, Pete? Is he all right in the boat?
All right. Yeah. He's just finished painting his boat. He's talking about getting rid of it. He says he's retiring from ocean-going life.
Yeah. Well, you know, Bobo and I are ready to crew it with you at the helm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I tried to tell him don't sell it before we've had another trip. Yeah.
We should all chip in and buy it.
We could have gone and sailed up and seen Taffy.
Yeah. It's a good boat.
Literally outside his doorstep.
It's a really good boat to be on.
Taffy go anyway. He left quick.
Yeah, he's left the building. Hey, but right, boys, we'll
time to go.
Leave the building. But good seeing everybody. I'm glad you're all good and safe and dry.
Yeah. Hopefully. Take care, all.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Johnny.
Doing good.
Cheers,
Pete.
Charlie.
Take care. Have a good week.
Raimondo.
Thank you.
Your team's doing well, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got back to form as well.
We got back to winning ways. Hopefully they can keep it up next week.
Okay.
Steve, you did well with a very good, well-earned point at right down at Ipswich.
Oh,
yeah.
Here we go.
I'll watch that one. Well thought.
Isa-isa ko lang hila sa dina na mula ko nararaw ang